Did you ever wonder which part of the plant is the most important?
Thanks for helping me weed my garden, Jeffrey.
You're welcome, Kate. This is fun. My mom hates it when I play in the dirt. Oh, the roots are an ugly part of the plant. It's a good thing it stays underground.
Well, it may not be pretty, but without the root, that plant wouldn't live very long.
Is the root the most important part of a plant?
What do you think?
Well, the root keeps the plant in the ground, so we can't pull it out very easily. The stem helps the plant stand up straight, so it must be important. Can't figure out what a leaf could be useful for, except maybe rabbit food. But the flower is the best looking part of a plant. It must be the most important, right?
Well, come on inside and take a look at the pictures for the book I'm writing about plants. That might give you the answer.
Okay, I think I've fought with the weeds long enough today.
How do you like visiting the country?
There sure is lots to do here. In my apartment in the city, all we have is a window box that my mom plants flowers in.
You certainly are a good gardener. I'm glad you've come to stay with me for a few weeks.
You do have a lot to take care of, don't you?
I sure do. You're in on the desk. Here they are.
All right. I can see these are leaves. But what are these yellow lines?
Well, the leaves are the plant's food-making factories. They make food from the sun's rays and from carbon dioxide, a gas in the air.
You mean we can make food from sunlight?
No, we can't, but leaves can. That's why people eat them.
People eat leaves?
Sure they do. Like these and these.
Oh, yeah. My Aunt Margaret makes salads from spinach and lettuce leaves.
There you go. Here's my favorite vegetable. It's a root.
All the roots have tiny hairs coming out of them. Even the radishes.
The hairs collect droplets of moisture from the soil. The moisture contains nutrients that the plant needs to grow strong and healthy.
My favorite root vegetable is red. Bet you can't guess what it is.
Beats me. How's that?
Great.
Here's the next one.
This page shows different stems.
The roots collect moisture from the soil, and the stems carry the moisture to all parts of the plant.
I guess it's like the plant's plumbing system, with these pipes carrying water from place to place.
That's a good way to think of it. The pipes also carry food from place to place. You can see the plant's pipes if you cut through a piece of celery. Last but not least,
The flower.
the flower makes seeds so that we can grow new plants. There you have it. Now, which part of the plant is the most important?
I guess they all have their own job to do. I think they're all important to the plant.
Very good. All parts of the plant work together to keep the plant alive.
Kate, what's broccoli doing on this page? I thought these were all supposed to be flowers.
They are. When you eat broccoli, you're eating flowers.
You're kidding.
Would I kid you? I have a riddle for you. Which flower that you eat has flower in its name?
Well, that's a cinch. Cauliflower.
You guessed it.
Do you remember the names of the parts of a plant? The part that takes water and nutrients from the soil is the root. The part with pipes to carry water and food to all parts of the plant is the stem. The plant's own food-making factory is the leaf. And the part that makes seeds for new plants is the flower.
Plants naturally grow outdoors, but in some parts of the world, the winters get so cold for plants that growers keep them indoors. When you grow a plant indoors, you have to make it feel at home as much as possible. Furnaces keep the greenhouse warm enough for plants, and the glass walls let in lots of sunlight. Plants also need water to live. And in some greenhouses, growers put in beehives to help the plants make fruit.
You can learn a lot about what a plant needs to live by doing some experiments. Here's one that shows that plants need light. You'll need 2 identical plants near a window and a box that will fit over one of them. Make a drawing of the 2 plants or take their picture, the way Rebecca is doing. Cover one of the plants with a box in which you've cut a small hole. Make sure the hole faces away from the window. Wait about a week before you take the box off to find out how much the plants have changed. Can you see the difference between the 2 plants? Before, both plants faced the window toward the sunlight. Now, they don't. This shows that plants need sunlight and that they use their stems to point their leaves at the sun. Another job of the stem is to get the water from the roots to the rest of the plant. Here's an experiment that shows how the stem does this. You'll need some celery and some colored water. All you need to do is put the celery in the glass of colored water and wait for a day. Then take it out and look at the celery. To see the results more clearly, you can cut it the way Chad is doing. But ask an adult before you use a sharp knife. You should see the pipes that carry the water right up to the top of the plant. Here's an experiment that you can do that shows the same thing and makes a crazy colored flower. For this one, Chad is using a white carnation, 2 glasses of water, some scissors, and 2 different food colors. Cut the stem in half very carefully, but stop just before you reach the flower. Place each half of the stem in a different glass of water and color each with a different food color. After a day, you should see a flower that looks something like this. This shows that water travels from the roots to the flower through the stem. All plants need water and sunshine. Some plants don't need very much water, but all of them need some. Even a cactus, a plant that usually grows in a very dry area. This cactus hasn't been watered in a very long time. See how wilted it is? You don't have to water a cactus very often, but if you don't water it at all, it will die. Out here, all my cactus plants get lots of sunshine, but I have to check on them every once in a while to make sure that they don't dry out. All plants need water.
Take a look, there's lots for you to see. Stay a while and take a look, right here with Kate and me. stages of flowers. But did you know that a flower has a more important job to do than just looking pretty? Boy, Kate, you sure have a lot of different flowers. Can you name them all?
Not all of them, Jeffrey. Sometimes I'll find a flower that I don't recognize.
Why are you drawing that? It doesn't have any petals. It's not very pretty.
It's called a rosehip. A couple of months ago, it looked just like that.
That's the same flower?
That's right. I've been drawing it every few days for the past couple of months.
I like your drawings, Kate, but it's too bad the flower doesn't last very long. It stays pretty for a while, then it's of no use to anyone.
Actually, a flower works hardest after it's no longer pretty. That's when it makes seeds.
That rosehip too?
Mm-hmm. Here, find out for yourself. Come here and take a look at this.
Hey, that rosehip is filled with seeds.
Right. And if you planted those seeds, you'd get a rose bush.
But how did the seeds get into the rosehip?
They grow in there. Go pick a gladiola for me and bring it over here, please.
Okay. Wow, isn't it beautiful?
I think so. Now, what do you see inside the flower besides the petals?
Well, there's this long thing sticking out of it,
Mm-hmm. That's called a pistil.
and 3 shorter things.
They are stamens.
Stamens are covered with dust.
That's pollen. Plants need pollen to make seeds.
I've heard of pollen and seen it in other flowers like goldenrod. It's the stuff that makes you sneeze.
That's right. The pollen goes from the stamens to the pistil and down a tube right to the bottom. Here, look at this drawing of the inside of a flower. That's a lily. The pollen goes all the way down to here.
That's where the seeds are made.
That's right. It's called the ovary, and it's filled with tiny eggs. The pollen combines with the eggs to make seeds.
But how does the pollen get from the stamen to the pistil?
Well, sometimes an insect gathering nectar might do it, or the wind might do it, or you might do it as you brush against a flower.
So I guess the flower's main job is to make seeds.
That's right, and it does this long after it's no longer pretty. Here. Take a look inside here. Inside the apple are apple seeds. Inside the orange are orange seeds. They both come from trees. Can you think of anything else they have in common?
Well, you eat apples and oranges.
That's right. You eat them because they're food for the baby plant. The fruit is used by the baby plant to help it get started growing.
You mean those seeds can really grow trees?
That's right. See this tree here?
Mm-hmm.
I grew it from a seed that I got out of a tangerine.
Do you think I could grow one like it?
Sure. All you have to do is take the seeds from the orange or the apple and plant them.
Could we plant them today?
Sure, but I think we should eat the fruit first. What do you think?
Okay. This powder inside a flower is the pollen. Can you remember where it is found? At first, you can see the pollen here. That's the stamen. Then it is carried to this part of the flower. That's the pistil. From there, it goes down a tube to the bottom where the eggs are. Here, the pollen and eggs combine to make seeds.
Spring is the time when most new plants start to grow. These pictures were taken with a special camera called a time-lapse camera. Things that take many days to happen are shown in just a few minutes using time-lapse photography. In the spring, farmers plant the seeds that will grow into their crops in the fall. Take a look at these time-lapse pictures that show how a pea seed develops into a plant, which can make seeds to make new plants.
Here's a quiz for you. I often collect the seeds from the flowers in my garden. This is a drawing of one of the flowers, but it only looked like that in the spring. Now all of the petals are gone, and only the seed pod remains.
It's a poppy, and I collected these seed pods in the garden. The poppy seeds are in one of these pods. Which one do you think it is in? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Right, it's number 2. These poppy seeds look just like the ones on my favorite kind of bread.
Anyone can grow plants from seeds. You can grow beans quite easily. Here's how to do it. All you need are some bean seeds, water, some gauze or screening, and a preserving jar with a lid. Put the beans in the jar and cover the top of the jar with the screening, the way Carrie is doing. Give your seeds some water and let them soak. Then pour out the extra water. Rinse your seeds every day for the next couple of days and watch what happens. You'll have bean sprouts to put in a salad. If you take a look, you can find seeds all over your house, especially in the kitchen. I found some split peas and some beans.
I've collected some seeds that are food. I've got some sunflower seeds, some walnuts, some popcorn, and some flour that comes from wheat seeds.
Why not try and see if you can find some seeds around your house?